Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, please think about subscribing. Let's check out this person. Her name is Shaka, the hair magician. The name of her channel is Perp Beezy. She's going to give you a little bit of a story time on her life. I watched a minute or two of this earlier and I thought this sounds super interesting.
What's up, y'all? This is story time on how my boyfriend slash baby father was tragically unalived 12 years ago. So 12 years ago, y'all, October the 23rd, 2012, me and my boyfriend and my daughter, we were staying at my god sister's house because me and my mom had recently got into like a little argument. I had packed my things and left. We was about to move into our place that following week, so I just needed somewhere to go for a few days. So we went there, chilled there the whole weekend or whatnot. And my baby father, he was with his friends. And his friends, his girlfriend, her birthday was that weekend. So they had a nice little kickback, all that type of stuff. Me, I'm just had a new baby. So I'm, somewhere put up with our daughter while he's out and about. So y'all, no shade or nothing like that, but I always really had a problem with my baby daddy being with his friend that he had, because it always seemed like every time he was with him, something crazy always happened. Like when I was 5 months pregnant, he got robbed in his house. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that, as a girlfriend, kind of makes you be like, I don't want you hanging with him. And I'm just gonna say this before I tell the story. Fellas, when your girl is telling you she got a gut feeling about something, or saying someone ain't your friend, or be careful around certain people, y'all listen to her. This woman sleep with you every night. This woman is in tune with you. If she feel like something ain't right, listen to your girl.
You know, it's funny she says it that way. I'm a firm believer that your gut is the most accurate thing in the world. I know there's some scientists out there saying, no, Jesse, no. When your gut feeling tells you this person isn't right or there's something wrong about them, listen to your gut. And if your gut's not telling you anything, but somebody you care about that cares about you is telling you, hey, I have a bad feeling about this friend of yours, at least hear them out because, the truth is, think about what she said. Her evidence was somebody came into that friend's house and robbed them in their very house. That would tell me that more than likely your friend probably is dealing with some shady characters, and you just don't want to deal with people like that. They always just listen to your gut, no doubt about it.
My boyfriend, he met these guys based upon a mutual friend. Um, he made a lot of interactions with people due to what he did for a living. And he was making interactions, having interactions with these guys on a regular basis. He always looked out for the guy. And like 2 weeks before my baby father got killed, I remember him selling him an iPod that didn't work. So I remember my boyfriend getting on the phone with him, telling him like, look, man, you know what I'm saying? This is not working. I got a new baby. Like, I don't have money to waste, what I'm saying, on stuff that's not working. You knew that before you sold it to me. So I heard him and the guy kind of getting into it about him getting the money back. So 2 weeks go by after this whole little iPod situation. Like I said, we chilling at my god sister house. I was gonna stay there for a couple days until our place was ready. We had to pay the deposit for our lights and all that good stuff. So while I'm at my god sister house, I ended up texting him that night, telling him like, you always claim me and celebrity is the only people that you love, but you always, with your friends. So he didn't give me no argument this night, y'all. He just was like, okay, I'm coming, and he came. I had cooked a meal. We had watched a movie. My cousin and her boyfriend was there, along with one of my other cousins and her daughter that was in the back room. And they also had a +1, which was their homeboy slash one of my homeboys as well from childhood. So we all sitting there chilling, watching a movie. I don't know. I just felt this urge to just keep looking at him. Like, he just looked so good to me, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. He looked so good. Ugh. My baby will fine now. If you know, then you know. It was kind of almost if I had this little feeling, but I didn't know what I was experiencing at the time, like right before his death. So as we watching this movie, like I said, having a good time, he ends up falling asleep. I'm eating my food now. The guys called and they wanted to purchase something. So while they're calling to purchase something, I hear the tone in his voice like that's it? Like, all right. Like, they literally called him for something that was $5 worth at the time, y'all. So he like, all right. He ends up falling asleep on the couch. The guys are still not there yet. But I'm not paying attention. He deal with these guys on the regular, as far as that goes. So there was nothing new. So as I'm eating my food, his phone ring. He wake up and he do this thing where if he's coming outside, he's not gonna answer the phone and tell you he's on the way out. You just gonna see him walking out. So that's what he did. I watched him sit up, put his shoes on, and proceed to head out the door.
So let's pause real quick. He's heading out the door. We already know he's going to be losing his life. But the thing that I'm finding interesting is she didn't feel good about his friend because of this gut feeling. That was ignored. Then she sees him and he looks like an angel. He looks absolutely gorgeous to her. She's even bragging about how this guy from 12 whole years ago was fine and if only you knew him. And I believe she's telling us the truth that he's probably this great looking guy. What I can't get over is that something in her body was telling her this might be your last time seeing him. She just didn't know what it meant at that time. I find it fascinating when we kind of deconstruct it like that.
As he's trying to head out the door, one of my little baby cousins is actually trying to go with him outside, but it's kind of cold. And y'all, I actually had my baby sitting at this door. I had my baby sitting at this door because we didn't use that door, based upon how her place was set up. So we always use her back slide doors. So when the dudes called, I guess they told him they was, coming the front way. He knew where the guy baby mom stayed, which was the front way, so it only made sense for him to go out that front door. So he goes out this front door. My baby's still sitting here at the door. He go out, I'm sitting down eating my food. Next thing I know, y'all, I just hear gunshots. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not registering that he's outside. It is, but it ain't, because it's like, I'm not thinking about how long he been outside or nothing. I'm not thinking nothing could be going wrong. So I'm thinking to myself, like, what? Do E got a gun? E is my baby father, y'all. I'm like, do E got a gun? I'm like, no, he don't tote guns. So I'm confused. It was so much going on in such little time, y'all. Like, you would be amazed how much stuff took place in like 5 minutes. I thought this was like a 30-minute event. So, as I screamed my baby, the guy that was there, heard me, and he ran over there and picked my whole daughter's bassinet up and ran into the back of the house. Soon as he ran into the back of the house, my baby father came running in the door. And excuse me, I was shaking a little bit. My baby father came running through the door, and as he's running through the door, bullets is following him, ricocheting off the silver piece down there at the bottom of the door. Is ricocheting, coming into the house, coming through the walls, and he comes in. He comes in, he walks straight past me. And I'm asking him, like, babe, what happened? But he not really responding. He just looking real confused. So he goes into the bathroom, opens the bathroom door, and I see him raise his shirt up. So after he raised his shirt up, he comes out the bathroom and he like, them MFers shot me, babe. I don't want to trigger anybody, but when he turned around, like, I literally seen the bullet wound in his back. I freaked out. I lost it, y'all. Like, and he's like, is it that bad? Like, he's still able to talk to me. So y'all, I panicked. I kind of blame myself for panicking sometimes because I wish, I would have tried to keep him calm and just try to put him in the car and take him to the hospital myself. But he had to tell me, like, babe, get me some help, call 911. So then we were trying to apply pressure to the wounds because he was bleeding bad, like bad. So y'all, I goes outside because I'm trying to talk to 911 on the phone, trying to find the address. I could not find the address to save my life. Like, I'm in my god sister's drawers looking for mail, everything. They asking me my location. I cannot give 911 my location. Like, I remember running outside, going to knock on people's doors, y'all. People act like they didn't hear me. Nobody wouldn't crack a window. Nobody wouldn't say, are you okay?
What a nightmare. Where she's from, they probably learned to just lock their doors and mind their own business. And now she's literally trying to find out her address so she can call 911. Absolute nightmare situation.
Do you need me to call? Like, could have hollered through the window, something like that. They just act like they didn't hear me, y'all, while I'm out there just falling apart. Like, I remember one time literally just falling in the grass and just crying because I'm just like, oh my God, like, what is going on right now? And I thought about, like, I got to get up. Like, Shaka, you got to get up. You got to go back in, and you got to make sure E is okay.
I wonder what life would be like if we actually did listen to our gut, you know? Our gut was right about all those people that we knew were so wrong in our lives, whether it was a friend or a love interest. Your gut already knew the answer, and you knew that your gut was being true, but you couldn't say no. Just happens.
I think we took this picture like Christmas 2010. So back to what I was saying, I knew I had to make it back into the house to where he was. I had to get up out the ground from crying and realized that wasn't helping him in that time. So I ran back in the house. As I'm in the house, my homeboy, he's still one of our mutual homeboys. He's still sitting down there with him, on the ground trying to put pressure on the wounds. So at this time, my baby father is sitting there. He's not crying. He is just watching me as pacing back and forth because at this time I was still trying to find the address. So y'all, whole gag is that they could get my address. They got me running around like a damn fool looking for the address when she like, okay, I have your location there on the way. Like, why didn't y'all ain't just do that from the beginning? Got me going crazy. I saw when he opened his mouth that he had a little blood on his teeth. He repeatedly told me that he loved me. He was telling my homeboy that was there that he loved him. He was just, going through, I guess. I can't say what he was going through in that time. But in this time, at the same time, I'm really feeling like he's gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? So my cousin that's in the bedroom, we are now like waiting for the police. We waiting for the ambulance. We like, where are they at? Like, we going crazy because we just feeling like it's taking them entirely too long to get here. So finally the police pulls up, but he's just sitting out there in the car. Like, y'all, my cousin, her name Trinice, like, she off the chain. My cousin ran straight out the door and yanked the police up by his collar like, he in here. Cause, right, why are you just sitting outside and not coming in trying to assess the situation?
So I agree that the policeman should come in a little bit faster, but at the same time, he's coming into a situation where he knows that there's been a gun injury, right? Or a bullet wound. And technically speaking, didn't they think to call in the ambulance? I would think the ambulance would be a much better person to call.
I live in a small town, y'all. I guess he was scared. They ain't familiar with these situations. I don't know, but he was taking too long to get out of that car, so she drug him out. So he comes in. As soon as he comes in, he's flashing the flashlight because he got to clear the scene before the ambulance can come, I guess. That's what he's telling us. So he's flashing the flashlight, but he flashes it right into my baby father's face, y'all. So after that, he began to ask questions like, what happened here? I'm trying to tell him what happened. So he asked me, did you do it? I can obviously tell that this man really don't care for people with this skin color. But anyways, after I go off on him about that, he goes away. The paramedics come. My baby father, he is still awake at this time. He's asking to see my daughter, but they wouldn't let me bring her into the room. They telling me no, and they wouldn't let me leave with him on the ambulance either. So y'all, that alone right there was killing me because the last thing I wanted was him out of my eyesight. Like, I wanted to make sure, like, he was good. So right as I see them, trying to get him together and put him onto the hospital, the gurney or whatever, that's when I kind of see him like pass out.
Could you imagine that? Your loved one gets on the gurney, and then last thing you know, they lose consciousness. And you're thinking, okay, well, at least they're in good hands. Hopefully they'll be taken care of. But for all you know, that could be their last breath right there. Like, holy moly.
So now me and my cousins, we are all writing statements about what happened here. But at this time, y'all, I could care less about a statement. I just wanted to go where my babe was. I just wanted to make sure he was okay. That was my biggest concern. Like, can we do the statements later? So in the middle of me, I think as soon as I got done doing my statement, that's when he comes and tells me that he's in critical condition. Instantly when he tell me that, y'all, I just remember just breaking down like on the back of the car that I was standing in. So he asking me like, is that y'all daughter? So I'm like, yes. And he like, y'all in a relationship? I'm like, yes, sir. He like, how long y'all been together? I tell him. And that's when I just remember him telling me like, I'm sorry, ma'am, but he didn't make it. When I tell y'all, I lost it. Like,
You would think that would be like the doctor that would tell you that, or the EMT. I wouldn't think it would be the policeman. And the reason it's crappy that the policeman accused her is because every time you watch a show that involves somebody losing their life, it seems like more than half the time it's their significant other that does it. Obviously, in this case, she didn't, but I just find it fascinating that that's the first person that they look at is like, hey, was it you?
y'all, when I tell you I charged at this man, I wanted all the smoke, y'all. Like, I was so pissed just because of how everything happened, how they carried it. Y'all didn't let me go. I just thought they were just real nasty to me about the whole situation. So, y'all, my cousin named Ty. She, man, when I tell y'all, she had me in the headlock. Like, my cousin had me so tight. She telling me, like, cuz, I know you will say it. I know you will say it, but you have to calm down because I don't want them to lock you up. Like, you have to calm down.
What a nightmare. You're dealing with the loss of a loved one. It's happened all so quickly, and then now you're having these beef situations with the cops themselves. Absolute nightmare. Guys, whenever I'm dealing with a real tough time in my life, a lot of times I take a step back and I realize it's not that big of a deal. When people lose loved ones, those are legitimate big deals. Tonight, I thought I'd share a story like this with you guys because the truth is, many of you guys are like me. Sometimes you make mountains out of molehills. Sometimes it's good to know that we're not the only one that's struggling with something. And sometimes you see stories like this and you realize that, hey, life isn't that bad. If your relatives are still happy and healthy, give them a phone call and tell them you love them, and then come back tomorrow and watch some more videos with me. I'll see you then.